Evening all, and welcome back to Kerbalism. Now, as mentioned at the end or during the last episode, Kerbalism 1.8 has been released and we have finally upgraded to it. Yes, this is now on version 1.8, my profile is up to date with it, and the good news is, it appears to work. I didn't have to do any major tweaking or anything changing the game wise, other than the fact that Kerbalism doesn't update on CKAN properly. As I mentioned in the last episode, you have to delete the Kerbalism folder and reinstall it because of some changes they've done in the back end to it. But if you download it from SpaceDock, it works fine. But if you update it from CKAN, for some reason, it just stops working. It doesn't show up. So, yeah, you've been warned. The other thing I've done as well is we've actually added another mod. We've added nuclear reactors to it. We've used the near future nuclear reactors, which are here. Because quite simply, the new Kerbalism is power hungry. Breaking down water into hydrogen and oxygen is nasty. You need 8 of the large solar panels. These ones here. You need 8 of them just to run a single RSRU breaking down water into hydrogen and oxygen. Not including the rest that does all the liquid fuel things. So yeah, that's that there. There are a few other things as well. Obviously, we still stuff for money because I didn't complete the contract, which I thought I did last time, but I didn't because it must have. What did it say here? Has a docking port and can generate power. We don't have a docking port. There's not one on there, so we can't complete the contract yet. I need to somehow get a docking port to it. But there are some other things as well. Let me jump over to it quickly and I should explain. So, the first thing is that this doesn't actually work. Simply because the RSRUs, they've been changed quite a way. They're broken now. This one has the saboteur process on it, this one has hydrazine, but I've got no way to break the water down into hydrogen oxygen. So, yeah. I could do a bit of save file editing to do that, but I'm not really sure about that at the moment. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. The drills are another thing. I have tried to balance them so that they work with mining and processing the water, but I think I still need to work on them a little bit, so expect a few changes to come. So yeah, that's going to be fun. The other thing as well is if I click here, I haven't got nitrogen on board. I discovered with alternate resource panel, you can actually, there's a folder in the folder to the alternate resource panel in there called icons-player, and you can put icons in there and name them. So like atmosphere, I've got a little candle with the O2, and shielding is a block. So I did do liquid nitrogen, but I think I spelt it wrong. That's probably why there. So, but in the main folder, there's loads of these icons. You just copy them to the other one and rename them to what you want, and yeah, so that explains that. But yeah, the big one, liquid nitrogen, is a bit weird at the moment, and I'm not sure why. I've got everything set up the way I had it before. A craft by default will have enough for 5 days worth of food, water and oxygen on it by default, but for some reason it ends up with like 13 years worth of nitrogen. I'm really not sure why that is. I can't figure out what I've done wrong with it. I do know nitrogen disappears when you open and close the doors to things, so maybe that'll balance itself out anyway. I don't know, so yeah. Also, these containers here obviously contain different amounts to what it's been changed to now. I think these now contain more, because these are the old ones, than the new ones would do, but that's all stuff we can sort out when we get to it. What I need to really do now is either send down my fuel ship. Let's retract that, so there's no point in leaving them doing it. Okay, send down my fuel ship and plug it in, and that would have a docking port, and then I'll complete the missions, which I probably need to do. And then I need to send my Kerbals home. It's a bit annoying because obviously this now doesn't have any fuel on board, so I'm probably going to have to send another fuel craft out, but I can't do that yet because of money. So first protocol today is to go to our station here and bring our fuel tug down. Oh, there was one other thing I just wanted to point out. Whilst this was running and was sliding down the hill, it has slid all the way down the hill, we came across the probe core, the little thing there. It was just on the floor. as it was slowing down, I just saw it and I threw an engineer out and went, grab it quick. So this now has a probe core on it. So yeah. But anyway, let's go to the moon station. And let's that's got plenty of fuel on board. Let's undock that and send it down. We are ending up over the night side soon, so not a bad time to bring my Kerbals up, I suppose. Dock that. Close the airlock. Point to ourselves retrograde. We do have a pilot in here. Do we have a pilot in here? Ooh. Yes, I do. And an engineer. Bill could no, there's no point. No point. Right, so let's go and land, shall we? Oh, turning the engine on would obviously help. That's a good start, isn't it? There we go. Right, and again, you'll see here. I'll bring this up here. Food, water, liquid oxygen, nitrogen. See, the nitrogen is pretty full. And if I click on this, it tells me that that was actually going to last 7 days, which isn't too bad actually. That's not really far off what it should be, I think. It's still a work in progress, the nitrogen part. I'm not really sure what's doing it to it, but yeah, it's still something that I'm tweaking and having a look at, but I just couldn't figure out what was going on with it, and I thought, well, the rest works. I'm happy with everything else. I just need to test the drills and get that nitrogen working, and then everything is awesome. So let's down here, and let's go and meet our mining rig. And here we are making our final approach. Hopefully our final approach. Just trying to hover it in nice and gently. Somewhere close to the target there. Hopefully we can land, not crash or cause any major problems. I'm coming in a little bit fast though. Okay, right, this should be good. This should be good. And down. There we are. Grip cord on tanker. Not sure why, but whatever. Yeah, just fire the engines up ever so gently. I'm going to move us over a little tiny bit closer. It's just easier to plug it in. Okay, down we go, down we go. And lock. There we go. Okay, we've still got that weird graphic glitch, but not exactly worried about that. Okay, so You can get out. Oh, you can fall down, right. And you need to grab one of those. Probably one on the other side as well. Yep, grab that one too. There we go. And we'll plug it in. That will give us our docking port. That will hopefully complete the mission and get everything done. I don't think there's anything else that's required. But I suppose we shall find out at the moment. Still getting that weird graphic glitch going on. Think. Okay. Are you happy with that? Build new outpost. Oh, have we got to do it all in one go? Oh, we've got to do it all in one go, have we? Oh, that's extremely annoying. Right. Well, if that's the case, we have a very, very serious problem. So, essentially, our space program is broke. And some very poor decisions and very poor flying on my part has caused us to be completely stuffed for cash. There is a bailout grant I could do. I could stop that and take a bailout grant, which will cost me all my reputation and get 167,000. Yeah, that's an option. Another option is to take some of these smaller missions here, which do grant a fair bit of money. So it's nothing to be sort of sniffed at. So, yep. And then I might be able to move on to rescuing some Kerbals and getting some money back and things, you know, we could build up from there. Or I could wait for the contracts that we have to be done, particularly the Explore Duna one, which is 180 days away. And our telescope is 95 days away, but I think that's just a maneuver, or we can start scanning stuff. If I wait for the Duna one, that does mean it will give me. I've got to do a position a satellite in polar orbit of Duna. We'll also harvest food as well. That's coming up. Explore Duna and position a satellite in polar Duna in polar orbit. But I don't know whether I put it. I did because I sent another craft, didn't I? I sent a second one with the materials back on it. So yeah, that would give us what we need. And it makes sense as well because our Kerbin station is still producing lots and lots of data. There's got lots of things to do here, so we could do this. We could wait for time to go by. I could bring my Kerbals back up from the moon, maybe even bring the Kerbals home, because they could do with a crew rotation, I think. So I might do that. I might bring everyone home and then wait the 180 days for this to be done, and here we are. If I get bored in between, I'll probably do a few missions in the mission control, but I think that's going to be my plan. Get that done. That will give us a science. We can unlock some new things that we can't afford, but it will give us added bonuses to do things. And our mining rig on the moon, we don't have to worry about, because we can obviously just, you know, sample it for parts. We can just, you know, use it for parts when we need to, break it down into materials, rebuild things, whatever. It could just, you know, it's there. It's not going anywhere. So I think that's gonna be the plan. So I will be back in about 200 days, I suppose. Well, it was 180 days technically. It's not 200 days, it's 36 days later, and our dual probe maneuver has turned up, but I can't do it. What I thought was going to happen kind of did. This antenna isn't good enough to talk with Kerbin here, and we're not even halfway to dual yet. So, yeah, Kerbin is there. We're basically, I can't even delete the mover. I can't do anything with this at the moment. It's just dead completely. So that's going to go out to dual. It will have an encounter with dual, I think, anyway. I believe. I'm not sure. Yes, I think it is, but that would have been closer. But yeah, it's going to have an encounter with dual. It's going to fly around. It's going to come back again, and then we'll see what happens when it ends up down here in 5 years' time. Because, well, I can't do anything with it right now. So I'm very sorry, probe, but you're going to be left to the depths of space all on your own. And another 50 or so days later, we have our telescope ready to be put into orbit. This is an important one because obviously it is a contract. Where is it? Satellite, there we go. Map 17 asteroids. Reach the minimum orbit around the sun. So, yeah. Obviously, could have burned the engine before. This is a 30-odd second burn. So, do that. Hopefully, it won't be too bad. Shouldn't be too bad. And, yeah, we can put this one in orbit. Not really got that good of a signal back to Kerbin, to be honest with you. I've really underestimated the antennas on these, so we're going to struggle with this, I think, because it is obviously orbiting much faster than Kerbin, so it's going to end up travelling a lot quicker than it's supposed to. Okay, there we go. We are in the orbit that's required, so all we have to do, whilst we can, is tell it to start object tracking, and it will passively find things over time, and hopefully it will find a nice asteroid that's somewhere close to Kerbin that we can capture, because that would be quite cool. And yeah, I suppose right now we'll just leave it to do its thing. Oh, I haven't turned on the mouse over things. I should do that. Obviously, with the updates of things, I've forgotten to tick a few boxes. But anyway, yes, our telescope is now where it's supposed to be. So our next port of call is actually just in about a week's time, 7 days' time. We can harvest some food from the Kerbin station. So yeah, that's gonna again get another one of our contracts complete and get our money going. And here we are, 7 days later, at our somewhat broken station. We've had a transmitter fail in here. We have had a solar panel fail there. And we've had a RCS thruster block with a critical failure. That is dead. Completely dead. Oh, and the reaction wheel is dead as well. That needs a bit of a kick, but can't do that because I don't have an engineer on board here. They're all scientists and a pilot, so well, the station's just got to stay as it is. But there are two important things. Firstly, it's done with all this data. It's completely done. It's transmitted everything back. We have all that done. And secondly, we can harvest the food. Yay! Let's have a look. See here. We've got 2,900 food, which is good enough for 226 days. And if we harvest the food, we'll complete our contract. We get 300 days worth of food, which is about right for 4 Kerbals. 3,000 of that there. The greenhouse should really have food storage on it, but nah, whatever. Yeah, that'll go there. You see, I fixed my little nitrogen symbol as well. And yeah, we have that contract now complete, which means we finally have some form of money. So, with that contract complete, the combination of returning some of my Kerbals back. I took the ship from the moon station, I think it was. Yep, I brought that. Yes, yeah, I brought the moon station ship back as well. So that's landed here as well. So we have no more Kerbals at the moon station. No, I think that's wrong. I think we do have some Kerbals there actually. Bear me just a moment. Have a double check here. Info. No, we have no Kerbals on the moon station. I managed to get them all back here. Yes, because I brought the rocket back, landed it, and had enough money to launch a rocket there. So that was done. I also completed a contract of moving a satellite. And right, my brain's going, I didn't launch a rocket to go to the moon station. I brought one back. Oh, yes, of course. I brought the one back that could return, that had the parachutes on it. And then the other one, which was the ship that went down to the moon, the one we sent up to complete the mining rig, but then it all went wrong and wouldn't work. That came back to our station in orbit, Kerbin, and had some parachutes put in it from that, and then that came down. That came down with quite a lump as well, to be honest with you. I was quite worried that there's part of it there. That I was worried that it wouldn't survive the landing, but it did. So yeah, because obviously it didn't have any decouplers on it, so I had to bring it all down with engine and everything else intact. So yeah, perhaps I should recover those little bits there. There we go. Yeah, and I managed to land it there. So yeah, so there we go. 200,000 credits to now complete stuff. There is a bit of bad news as well, though. Our telescope. Where's our telescope? It is here. No longer has any signal to Kerbin, so I don't know whether that's going to complete its contract or not. I have obviously told it to start doing things, but it can't tell us that it's found anything yet, so I'm really not sure what to do about that. I mean, if I upgrade the tracking station, that would help. That would increase the range of everything, but I can't do that, obviously it's too far. If I at 50, that'd be 250G. Or I could launch a satellite into orbit and figure stuff out, but no, I think we need to complete our contracts. We need to have a look at something here. Duna is coming up in 77 days. I have realised as well that I've got two Duna vessels on the way, to Duna, but I've only got one in the alarm clock, so I'm going to wait till that one gets down a little bit and then have a look at what I've done with the other one. Just make sure it doesn't miss, because we don't want that. Yeah, so that one's in progress. That one's in progress. That one's in progress. This is the one that's not. But I don't have enough funds to build a new craft to do that. Yeah, there's no way I could possibly get something up there to do that sort of thing here. So instead, let's have a look at what other contracts we can take. On Flag of the Moon, we could do that. That's fairly easy. If we go into the moon, I could do that. I do obviously only have 7 contracts. I've got 3 spare, so data from the surface of Minmus. Position a satellite in a specific orbit of Duna. No. Recover object from the moon and recover something from the surface of the moon. We've got a fair few things to do with the moon. We've also got a few things to recover from orbit of Kerbin. I think I may do those. Yeah, let's do that. So I will. Again, it's not a great deal of money, but we need to build our money up before we can do things. So yeah. Take the Goliath turbofan in flight over Kerbin. That's probably doable. Yeah, I think we'll do. Well, I'll complete these missions first, and then yeah. So let's go and recover these 2 components from Kerbin orbit, shall we? It may make a little sense, however, to grab some more wonderful bits and pieces to help us recovering bits here. We obviously do have arm propulsion unlocked. I may buy some of these components and start using that in conjunction with a nuclear reactor, because we do have one. We do have the ability to get, so I will research that. We are. We can get a bigger nuclear reactor, but that costs 1.4 million to unlock, so we're not doing that anytime soon. We don't need those. And that's 135,000 to unlock that. Wow, all these other bits and pieces are expensive. Don't really need anything else in there. Landing legs. Ooh, the heat shield. Yeah, we'll research that. The heat shield could be useful. We don't have any other science to get. We do have some bigger batteries. Not necessarily a bad thing, but yeah, I think overall things aren't too bad. There's obviously our radio isotope generator, our big battery bank, and then the mega radioisotope adapter. So yeah, I think, well, to be fair, we should research those two, because that just completes that entire tree off, and then we should have a look at the next one. Suppose I shall get big engines, because engines are always good, and with big engines you need big fuel tanks, so we'll get those. And then we can unlock one more. Really think we need. Ooh, we don't need them, but you know what? Yep, we're gonna get that. I am thinking I may completely scuttle the moon station, the mining rig, and the Kerbin station. Not scuttle, that's the wrong word. Recycle. I may send up some way to recycle them and then produce a better station in orbit, because obviously they are using the old versions of the storage containers, which contain different amounts of what they should do, which is a bit odd and a bit weird in places. And obviously the mining rig itself is useless because it can't, the RSIUs can't do anything. So I think we'll probably do that at some point. But right now we have 2 missions to complete, and I think it's about time we built an iron-powered probe. Go and do it with a nuclear reactor, so it can last a very, very, very long time. So I decided against building the iron-powered probe to go and pick up these 2 objects in orbit, because, well, cost-wise, it's really not worth putting a nuclear reactor in orbit just to bring it back down again. So, yeah. Instead, I thought I'd just launch my standard craft that I used last time to grab 2 different things at the same time. I grabbed them, docked them onto the ship, brought them back, everything was good. And was starting getting messages that my people on board the Kerbin station were going a little bit crazy. So that's what we're doing here. This craft is going up to the station, it's going to grab the people, and it's going to return them back. Which is a really good thing, because as this was just entering orbit and sorting itself out, we actually got a warning that a solar storm, is heading for Kerbin and will be here in a few hours. So hopefully we can grab them and get back home before anything nasty happens. And just like that, we return all our crew back to Kerbin. But some bits don't survive. Anyway, that is all we have time for today. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Hope to see you again next time. And until then, as always, have fun.